brought him into my house. I gave him my car. I gave him the clothes on his back. I'm not going to fight for this anymore. I'm exhausted, tired, and hopeless. Ipsy Police was in my house today at 5 a.m. when I asked for harassment. I filed a PPO. I'm getting no help. I'm hopeless, frustrated, and exhausted, and I'm done.
And Miller.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Ellis Friedman for the plaintiff.
Your name, sir?
Devin Miller.
All right. And Ms. Mahmood, is she here or no?
Yes, she is here, but I think she's having some difficulties right now.
Your Honor, we haven't received a payment since the last time we were here. It's $26.65 total.
And sir?
$25.65, I'm sorry.
25.
So I recently just received employment, so I've been waiting for my check to come between that time.
But it's not going to be, I have a note that $1,000 was going to be paid. I don't know why.
$1,000?
Okay. Well, how would you intend on getting this paid off, sir?
So I don't get paid until the 28th.
Until the what?
The 28th of June.
Okay, but all right, let's take that. And how much would you be willing, how much are you going to be able to pay?
So with me working weekly, I get paid $5.60 on a full.
On a full check, you get how much?
$5.60 minus tax.
Because I don't know how we're going to do this if she's not here, because I'm about to, I mean, my inclination is to issue a judgment.
Well, we've been having some difficulties in being uncooperative.
Pardon?
She was being uncooperative. I would hope that you don't throw it out because I'm really trying.
She was being uncooperative.
I apologize for interrupting. I have an out front, but she doesn't want to come into the courtroom because of a contact order between her and her husband.
We don't have one, sir, Your Honor.
Are you her husband?
Yes. May I explain?
Please.
Okay, so recently she's having a spat with me. She's just upset that she wanted me to apologize for a misunderstanding that we had before coming here to court when she got verbally volatile with me. So she decided to.
Okay, that's fine. Is there a no contact order between the two of you?
No, there's absolutely not. She probably just said that just to make things worse on my end.
Well, they couldn't get much worse.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not really sure. She can be very vindictive.
Okay, so let's not say that out loud.
Okay.
Can you go down the hall and
Sign her into Zoom?
no, she's here. Yeah, well, ask her if she's going to participate in the hearing. You have one case.
Sure.
just say it.
I did have one recently, Your Honor, in 14A1 or 14B. I mean, and the person was adamant that he could not pay. And the judge finally said, well, okay, but you're going to have a judgment. And guess what happened 3 days later?
Yes.
So I know that Evasive right says you don't have to have a judgment to get assistance, but sometimes it assists.
Sometimes it helps. Yep.
Is Ms. Martin working?
She receives assistance. So I recently started. I recently started working.
Yeah, but does she work?
She doesn't work now, but she's disabled.
Disabled.
Yes. So she receives assistance.
I thought she was getting I didn't mean to, but I thought she was getting a job on the street.
Oh, yeah, she was trying to get a job at Insomniac Cookies. She has yet to hear from them. I was able to obtain employment and I started working this week.
Where'd Alan go? I was just wondering where Alan went. Even though today's gone, he probably just left the building. He knew I shouldn't have let him out. Him over here.
Sir. Yeah, see you.
Ma'am, what's your name?
Mariam Mahmood.
All right. There's a total amount of $25.65 owing. Was there a method by which you were intending on getting this paid, or do you know?
I'm going to be very honest with you, Judge.
Okay.
I have no intention of paying one penny. No intention of paying one penny. I've been with Barnes and Barnes since 2021 in this place. I've been with Barnes and Barnes for about 6 years now. Before that, I was in different apartments with Barnes and Barnes. Before that, I've been in EMU since I was 16. Eastern Police, Ipsy Police, all y'all have just failed me. I've been begging Barnes and Barnes to fix my house for a simple fan for heat in the winter. I'm having to take money out of my pockets to keep myself fed. I would rather sleep in my car than fight for a house because along with this court case, I'm dealing with my pedophile dad who decided to touch me for 6 years and get away with it. Along with that, I'm dealing with my mom not cooperating and being in cahoots with him. I'd rather win a settlement than fight for this and give my last tears and blood, sweat, and tears into this. My husband doesn't understand how to speak to me nicely. That's why we're not standing here together. And I'm not gonna stand next to a man who doesn't know how to open the right door instead of the left door and snap at his wife. I'm not going to do that. I walked out because in March I was in jail for beating him up. I'm not gonna stand here and go out of my character and act irate when I don't want to fight for something that's mine. That's not he claims that it's his more than mine. I brought him into my house. I gave him my car. I gave him the clothes on his back. I'm not going to fight for this anymore. I'm exhausted, tired, and hopeless. Ipsy Police was in my house today at 5 a.m. when I asked for harassment. I filed a PPO. I'm getting no help. I'm hopeless, frustrated, and exhausted. And I'm done.
Okay. I just had to make sure, which is why I wanted you in the courtroom, that I was going to find no tribal issue. I was going to issue a judgment to the plaintiff. And I just wanted to make sure that you understood what the court was doing, which is why I wanted you here. All right. So the court finding no tribal issue on their judgment for possession and money. It looks like you requested for possession and money as to both defendants. Total amount, the 25,600, that was inclusive of costs, correct?
Yes.
In the total amount of $2,565, and an order of eviction or writ will issue in 10 days. All right. Thank you.
Sorry, could you say that again? I speak 3 different languages. I'm not American. I'm British. So I didn't understand one word that came out of your mouth. I'm sorry, sir.
The whole thing?
You're throwing legal words at me, sir.
No,
I'm
not,
mentally,
ma'am.
I'm
ma'am.
in
All right.
middle school. I didn't pass, I
Okay.
speak 3 different languages. I'm not educated.
Okay.
So I don't understand when you throw legal terms at me. I need to speak to me like a toddler. I would understand that better. Thank you.
I'm issuing a judgment. I'm signing a judgment, a piece of paper indicating that plaintiff, your landlord, has the right to possession of the premises
Okay, so
unless $2,565 is paid prior to July 1st or by July 1st. If it's not paid by July 1st, they can then file for what's called a writ of restitution or an order of eviction to have you move. Either at that point, you can move by then or you can pay the money by then. If you fail to move, what will end up happening if they file that order of eviction, the court will sign off on it. And then what will happen is the sheriff, another police agency, or the sheriff's department or a court officer will show up and will, if you haven't vacated the premises, will remove you from the premises.
yeah, and I know how the eviction process works. I just don't. I have lawyers in my family, but I'm more on the medical side rather than the lawyer side. But I appreciate all your help, and sorry,
All
my
right.
husband and I aren't cooperating today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Harbor One West versus Mercedes Houston.
Again, for the record, Your Honor, Cheryl Walkoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hi, Your Honor.
Hello, Miss Houston. How are you doing?
I'm doing. I'm still in the facility right now with my son.
Okay. But I know that you're probably still there, but how are you doing?
I'm struggling, but I'm trying stop being such an emotional wreck always in front of my son. I'm trying to work steps and work on me. So every day is getting better.
What'd you say?
Every day is getting a little bit better and a little bit easier for me.
Okay. And that's all that any of us can hope for, isn't it? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Miss Lucko, if you weren't here last week, Miss Houston had put herself into a rehab facility. She's there. I adjourned it out a week because that was going to hit, I think, your 14-day mark or something along those lines, or her detox period. And she was trying to work through it. The biggest issue for her, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong at any point, Miss Houston, it's not gonna be a circumstance where she's gonna be able to go back there, right?
Yeah.
She is just looking for a way to have her son's items particularly, but her property moved out of the premises, but she's not out of the she's not in a position to do it at this point. Did I miss anything, Miss Houston?
No, no, sir. You got that pretty down back.
Okay. So, Miss Houston, how do you think that you can get the property moved out? Do you know? Do you have people that can help you, or
I do, but I'm an hour and a half away. I'm all the way in Richmond, Michigan. So the keys to my apartment are with me. And
gotcha?
I don't believe they have a key to my apartment. They'd have to probably force entry. But I do believe that I will be I may have a day or two within the next week that I'm going to be leaving from here and going to the transitional housing. Then I may be able to at least get
Gotcha.
my son's belongings out.
That's right. So that's right, because you're going into transitional housing. So,
Yeah, in Monroe.
what day? Is it Monday?
No, I said in Monroe, but I won't know. I'm on the wait list, so every Monday I call and check in with them. And on Monday when I
Got it.
checked in, they said that my bed would more than likely be available after I put in my extension for this week. My birthday's on Sunday, so I'll be here. And that's my technical completion day. But in order for my bed, I have to wait for that bed to open up. So I have to put in an extension to be here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Your Honor, I'd like to state for the record, I am sympathetic to Ms. Houston. I'm sorry for what she's going through. All very difficult things. As an advocate for my client, I'm concerned about an increasing balance in July around the block here. So,
Yeah, what we were hoping to do was not to get to July. But where she was last week, the point at which she was at last week, so I can just explain this, I adjourned it out the week because she was going to be at a different point in
sure.
her rehab. And what we were hoping is that then she would go into that the housing would be available after that, and then she could get the keys back, retrieve the property. I'm not even sure at this point how to get the keys back until she gets out.
Well, if she does have someone, Your Honor, that can move her out, I believe that if there's something in writing submitted to the landlord, we can work something out where a key can be provided to a third party in order to facilitate that. I think that we have to get
I
this.
got you. Do you think you could make that happen, Miss Houston?
Could I have at least until the 28th to try and make phone calls and make some arrangements for that? We don't have phones here, and we only get to use the phone 2 times a week. So I only can make phone calls on Tuesdays and Sundays. So I have to get a hold of people, and my aunt is more than likely the only one, and she's raising my nephew right now and works 2 jobs.
Got it. Okay, so let me do this.
I'm trying to see maybe on Monday when the bed will be available, so I'll have the day or two in between to maybe when I leave from the facility to get there.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna give you your judgment at this time. I will grant you a judgment on the 28th if we can't resolve it. So, Ms. Houston, if you can get a written communication to them and work that all out and get that to the landlord so that there's permission, that's one way of handling it. The other way that it might be able to be handled is that if you get out and you start moving toward transitional housing, you'll be able to get that arrangement yourself to get the property out. Okay,
That's what I'm trying to do.
Fair enough?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll adjourn this to June 28th, 2024 at 12 p.m. And then hopefully what'll happen is we'll be able to sort of move forth from there. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
All right, not a problem. Day at a time, hour at a time, minute at a time. Sometimes it's a second at a time, right?
One step at a time as well.
Okay. And the most important thing, Miss Houston, happy birthday, because you get to celebrate another one, right?
Yes, sir. Yep, with my boopy,
All right.
with my baby. So,
There you go. All right. Take care.
thank you. You take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Arbor One versus Regina Griffith.
Sure, I'll look up on behalf of the plaintiff.
Regina Griffith, you're muted. It's you. You're the LG stylist. You have to unmute. Yeah, she's trying.
I got it.
Oh,
I think
you got it? Okay. What's your name?
Regina Griffith.
All right. Very good. And the claim in this case, Ms. Luckoff?
Your Honor, total amount due $2,388.10.
All right. Ma'am, I know you said you were going to apply for state emergency relief.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. How many people are in your household?
Just one, Your Honor.
Okay, because that's only going to net you about $410.
Your Honor.
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
something that's go- There was abatement on the apartment because they didn't do the repairs that were supposed to be done. So that's where that aggregate is coming. That amount is coming from.
Okay, you broke up there for me. Can we kill her? Video. Okay. Ms. Griffith, can you say that to me again, please?
Your Honor, there's an abatement on the apartment. It started they came out April 25th. And they got notice May 24th. And that's where the confusion is coming in with the payment.
Okay. There's an abatement? What do you mean?
Section 8 asked them to do some repairs and they have not done that.
Okay, let me ask you this. So you received section.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, how much is your portion of the rent?
165.
165?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And well, this doesn't make any sense. How long has your rent been 165?
My rent since July 22nd of 2022.
Have you been paying your 165?
Yes, Your Honor.
So
I'm confused myself here, but go ahead, Your Honor.
So this amount you're claiming is a portion Section 8 did not pay because they abated rent because of repairs.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Luckoff, you see that on?
I'm not aware of that. Does she, I'd ask her to forward, first of all, to me, if she has any documentation of this, I'd like to see it.
I do.
I see that she's been paying 200, I mean, she's been paying very sporadically. I don't see any $165 payment at all on this ledger. I see a lot of Section 8 payments. And then like I said, I'll see a $371 payment, then a $200 payment.
That's
Then
what I
no-
don't
Did you-
understand either, Your Honor.
So she's not been paying.
Oh, yeah, I have. I got the receipts to prove it. I don't know
Okay.
why Amy's doing it like that, but I have money orders. I pay in them money
Okay,
orders.
Ms. Griffith, hold on. Can you see a period between April and now? I think those were the dates she gave me, where Section 8 did not make their payment.
I see that the last Section 8 payment, Your Honor, was on May 3rd. And then I don't see anything for you, but actually, let me strike that. I mean, that is what it shows, and then it shows a credit. It says, hold on. Section 8 rent posted incorrectly on June 1st. So it's possible that payment was not for her. So that would be consistent with what she's saying, that April would have been the last payment.
Got it. Okay.
Can I ask the court to ask the defendant, what are the repair issues that she's alleging have not been done?
Yes, Miss.
I moved in July 2nd of 22. The ceiling is leaking, and I made complaints, and then finally, an inspector came out and they want all kinds of repairs that need to be done. They did one on 5/23 of 24. And that was the tub, and after that, they never came back.
Okay, ma'am, let me ask you this. Who administers your Section 8?
MSA.
USA. All right. Do you have the paperwork showing that they abated rent?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. So here's what you need to do. You need to get a copy of that and get that to the court. And you need to send a copy to Ms. Luckoff.
Okay.
Okay? How soon
I will
can
do
you
that.
do that? Can you do that by the first part of next week?
I can do that right now, Your Honor.
Okay, well, all right. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to adjourn this out so that we can all look at the same paperwork. I'll adjourn it out to the 28th, 2024 at 12 p.m. And the documents need to get to myself and they need to get to Ms. Luckoff. All right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I think that will answer your question, Council, because we'll be able to see repairs and everything.
Sure, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
you have one left, Ms. Luckoff, but that was the one we passed. So you need time on that one?
I mean, I've reached out and I've received no answer. I've reached out to everybody. It's Friday afternoon at 4.
Yes. Okay,
So I think we may just, that was when she said she paid $630 yesterday. I mean, I would ask for entry of judgment. I don't see there's any basis not to move forward, but I'll leave that to your discretion, Your Honor.
why don't you gotta come back? Let me just kick it out to the 28th.
Okay,
And 2024 at what time? 12 noon? All right, at 12 noon, and then we'll see where we are. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
have a great weekend. Thank you.
You do the same. Take care.
Thanks.
Court does call the case of Arbor One versus Onesforo Mashawingwe.
Good morning, Your Honor. Cheryl Wolkoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Go ahead, Mr. Interpreter.
Jina anaitwa Shawoka, yeye anasimamia kwamba ni mwenye kuumizwa.
All right. Are they here?
Yes.
I got it. Sir, can you please state your name?
Sema jina lako.
Sir, you will have to unmute the device and state your name.
Yeah, jitoe kwa mute alafu kwamba anasema majina yako.
Can we send somebody in?
Yeah, Sunday.
We are sending somebody in to help you, sir.
Tunatuma mtu hapa akuja akusaidie.
Sir, can you now state your name?
Sema majina yako.
Jina langu la kwanza ni Onesforo, la pili ni Mashimbwe.
Yeah, first name Onesforo, the second one is Mashingwe.
Ndio.
Plaintiff, what is your claim in this case?
Your Honor, total amount due including court costs $2,531.10.
Anasema kwamba anadaiwa 2,500 na 2,200 na makumi tano.
Ndiyo, ndiyo.
Mr. Interpreter, what did he say?
He said yes.
Sir, how do you intend on getting this paid?
Hasa utazilipa namna gani hizo franga?
Nataka kidogo ningejieleza kwa kuwa sijui kama ningejieleza kidogo.
Yeah, can I speak a little bit?
I'm sorry?
He wants to talk.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah, sema.
Ndiyo. Hizo deni najua kweli nadaiwa na
Yes.
kipindi ilifika mpaka nidaiwe ni kwa sababu ya kazi kidogo ilisimama. Alafu
Yeah, he's saying that yes, I owe them money and it's because my job ended.
Yeah. Na kwa hiyo najua kesho siku ya kwanza naingia kazini na wanipe muda tu nitalipa
And
kweli.
tomorrow he's going to start another job and he will pay the amount.
When will this $2,531 be paid?
Yeah, utazilipa lini hizo 2,531?
Naomba wanipatie muda wa wiki mbili mbele takuja kuzilipa.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Are you going to request any assistance or request to speak to an attorney regarding this case?
Unataka kwamba ni kuongea na mwanasheria yoyote kuhusiana na hii kesi au unataka kwamba ni uzitafute namna gani?
Nitaangalia kwanza, nitajipiga mbandugu, maana sijakuwa na kazi. Nitaanza kazi mwiyo wiki, nitaangalia kesi, nitaongea na bandugu, naweza kazipata, hapo nitakuja kuweka baada ya wiki mbili.
Yeah, he will talk to his family. He doesn't want to request a new attorney.
Okay. What I will do is I'll adjourn this out 1 week, but sir, you need to understand that when it comes to the next date, you're going to owe July rent also.
Nasema kwamba yani nitaivukisha hii la ndevu nitaifanya wiki ya kesho, halafu kwamba nikikuja mwezi wa 7 utadaiwa tena pesa za mwezi wa 7.
Sawa, nitalipa, hana shida, nitaongea na familia, nitalipa.
Yes, I understand and I will pay it. I will talk to my family.
All right. I'll adjourn this matter to June 28th, 2024 at 12 p.m.
Nasema kwamba nitaipeleka hii kesi kwamba yani tutakutana hapa kwamba ni wiki ya kesho Alhamisi kwamba yani saa 6 kamili utaingia hapa, utakuja hapo sehemu upo.
Sawa, na wangeniandikia, maana Kiingereza ndio kinanisumbua, ndo maana.
Yeah, he wants a note saying that he should come back to a Zoom at 12 o'clock on June 28th.
He needs a note saying that?
Yes.
Okay, if he goes out to the clerk's office, I will send the file down. They will give him a notice of hearing.
Nasema kwamba ani wewe toka tu nje, enda kwa hiyo ofisi yao hapo, alafu atakupa hiyo karatasi inaonyesha.
Sawa.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. May I leave you, Anna?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll see you this afternoon.
And
naweza nikaenda?
Yeah, umemaliza. He's asking, can he leave?
Yes, he can leave.
Yeah, unaweza enda.
Sawa, nashukuru sana.
Sam, thank you so much.
Stephen Wild versus Brittany Fisher.
David Faint here on behalf of Stephen.
Hi.
All right. And
You and I discussed this with Ms. Fisher. As the court knows, she would normally have 10 days, but I extended this till the 8th. She's, I think, starting a job this week and has been working on other things. She's been working very hard to get this paid. I gave her as much time as I could give her, which would be the 8th. And she signed and I advised of her rights under the court rule.
all right, very good. Is all of that correct, ma'am?
That's correct.
All right. And your study job when?
I'm scheduled to start tomorrow morning.
Okay. And this goes through the 8th. Gonna be able to get this paid by then?
Well, if I may explain to you the circumstances.
Sure.
I obtained employment for this job yesterday morning. And The manager, prior to me even filling out the application, which was about last week, took some time to get hired. She knew that I was applying for a loan and was pre-approved. And everything was contingent on her answering her phone for the loan company yesterday. I intended to have all of this paid yesterday, and she did not answer the phone. So I'm debating whether I ought to go to work tomorrow because she was in full awareness that I was relying upon this. But I do have an interview opportunity currently that I'm now considering attending. I have the proof of employment here, her note that she signed saying that, giving them her phone number. And she just didn't answer. She just didn't answer. She wrote address to the loan company, everything. This is the proof that I was hired, my hire date. And she didn't answer her phone for me to be a have this.
Okay, but if you start, so you're not gonna have wages to get this paid, is that?
If I continue employment, I'm hired currently. I currently hold an assistant manager position at the dollar store.
Okay, I see. So,
Otherwise, I have an interview in my inbox, another opportunity reaching out to me for an interview.
When would you get paid if you, let's
The
say,
third would be my first paycheck.
is it
but
week?
then you don't get another check until the 17th.
No, it's weekly pay,
It's weekly, so you get another check on the 10th.
correct?
Can we move that to the 15th, Your Honor?
That's
Maybe-
what I was gonna do anyway, I think. All right. So what I'm gonna do, or what we're gonna do is we're gonna extend this out one more week. All right. And hopefully then you can,
Obtain employment and get this approved.
well, if you start that when you would get paid on the 26th.
I don't have my calendar before.
Well, that's next Wednesday.
No, it skips a week. Well, I would not get paid the 26th. The first check would be the 3rd.
First check would be the 3rd and then it's weekly after that.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I understood you said the 15th. I'm gonna go to the 17th. That'll give you at least 3 checks if you have that to try to get this paid.
Sure.
Okay, I do that over the objection of plaintiff on
No
this.
objection, Your Honor.
Any other questions you have regarding this? Thank you. I've signed the judgment and you can get a copy at the front counter.
And I would make partial payments, and I'll tell my clients to take partial payments because we can whittle this down.
Sure.
You
That
know,
would be, that's my goal.
Okay.
Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
Arbor One versus Christy Davis.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
She's here. She's been here for a long time. Just wait. Come on up. Hello. What's your name?
Christy Davis.
All right. We had last hearing $2,359.10. She was going to pay $600 that day.
She
Did
did
you get that
pay. I
paid?
believe it was on the 17th, but she did pay.
All right. And then how are you going to get the rest of this done, man?
I can pay 700 today.
You can pay 700 today?
Yeah, it won't, when I get there, it's gonna be closed, so I'll put it in night drop.
Okay, but you can pay 700 today. So, Ms. Luckoff, what do you have as her balance?
Right now I have $1,759.10, so that would leave her a balance of $1,910.
And then how can you get the rest of that paid? What were you looking at?
I know next Friday I can pay another 500. I just started another job, so it's not gonna be a full check, but I know it's gonna be 500, and then I could pay the rest of it off.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. I'm gonna adjourn you out a week. And to the 24th, pays us 700 today. Pay at least 500 by the 28th, as early on the 28th as you can.
Okay, now, the thing is, I
Yes.
don't get off until the office closed.
Got it.
They told me if I put a date that I gotta have it in that, before the office closed, I don't get off until 7:30. So the office will be closed. I work from 7:30 to 7:30. So I can put it in the night drop, but it won't, you understand what
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Okay, so here's what I want to have happen. I want the 700 to get in against this account. It may be on the 28th, I have to issue a judgment, but it'd be a low amount in terms of a judgment. And that'll seal that dollar amount.
Okay, so
Okay.
I just put the 500 next week.
Put the 700, get the 700
Yeah, I'm going to
in,
get a money order
and
now.
then get the 500 in.
Okay,
And then I may have to issue a judgment, but I'm gonna be issuing it for around $1,000 or less.
Okay,
Once you do that, okay?
okay,
That's what we'll look at doing.
okay. So
All right.
like when I got court, do I gotta come back to court?
Yes, you have to come back or you can appear via Zoom, either way.
I can do Zoom on Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I can do it while I'm at, okay.
Okay, yes.
Cause
June
like I said,
28th.
I got to work that day, so.
June 28th, 2024
Yeah.
at 12 p.m. And if you can, we'll get you a form so you don't have to miss work.
Okay,
Okay?
all right, thank you.
Harbor One versus Dominique Jones.
Cheryl Luckoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Yeah, I know you're here. We'll wait for you. Hello. What's your name?
Dominique Jones.
All right. And last time we were here, she was at 1910.52. She was going to pay $500 by today.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay it today. As soon as I leave here, I can make it up.
Oh, you haven't
I
paid it?
literally just left work. Yes. I tried to call earlier. I didn't know it was an option for Zoom.
Gotcha.
And they were like, oh, you got to do it 40 hours. So I didn't know. So I just came.
Okay. All right. Very good. So.
And I also turned in the T thing that you asked me.
Did you do that?
I
You turned that in?
to the court myself on Tuesday.
Yes, you did. So she's going to get the stay for one more week in any event.
It'll be all paid by the 28th, regardless of the decision. However, I did get a ding on my email from DHS, but I wasn't able to look at it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know what it is.
All right. But you're going to have everything paid by the 28th.
Absolutely.
Okay. There's a stay on it, which would adjourn it out to that date anyway. So I'm going to adjourn this to June 28th, 2024 at 12 p.m. So can you make sure that it gets paid before that time?
It'll be paid before then.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hi, Ms. Lefko.
She told me it's going to be paid. What?
I always pay.
Who are you waving at?
Miss
Waving at me.
I like her.
What?
That's my girl. I like
Every
her.
once in a while, a tenant will like me, right?
Luck off?
Yeah. Yes.
You like her?
Absolutely.
Wow.
She doing her job. How somebody not gonna like her because they ain't pay their bill? I don't think so. That ain't how that works.
Oh,
She
whoa.
me.
Not only does she like you, you have a big defender here.
Well, it's the truth.
Thank you.
No, she does do her job and does it very well. All right.
All righty.
Thank you. You have a
See
great
you
weekend.
next week. Hopefully it'll be dismissed because
Yes, ma'am. All righty. Harbor One versus Laura Slater.
Cheryl Luckoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Solomon. I'm Laura Slater's daughter. She's currently incarcerated in Jackson County.
In Jackson?
Yes, sir.
All right. And do you live at the address or are you just appearing on
Yes,
her behalf?
I stay in the home as well with my 3 children.
Okay. When did she become incarcerated?
I think 3 days ago. I'm not entirely sure. It was this week though.
Right. Because she was here
Mhm.
and actually was able to get the rental assistance form in. So it must have been just 2 days ago, if that. Okay. Do you know how long she's going to be in?
I know that her bond is $200. I was gonna give her $150 to put towards the rent, but my check was only $100. And I'm working on bonding her out. I've tried to get a hold of her case manager, because I know that yesterday she was supposed to pay the rest of the payment for the rent. So at this time, I don't know when she's going to be out, but I do know that she gets her SSI check on the 28th, which I have access to.
Okay. So okay. Ms. Luckoff, how much is owing on this? I had 640.
Yes. 684.80 now. And as her daughter indicated, there was supposed to be a payment made of $500. It was not made.
Right. Okay. Disaster waiting to happen. Okay. Yep. So, ma'am, you have access to her SSI check.
Correct.
Okay. And when will you have access to that check? Comes on the 28th or 27th?
The 28th that I'm aware of. That's what she's told me. I've been calling every day to see if it's coming earlier because I don't
Okay,
have access to like her app that it's direct deposited to. I just like I call them, give them her information, and check the mail.
okay, so here's what I'm gonna do, so that you understand. I'm gonna find no tribal issue, and I could also do it by default, but I'm gonna do no tribal issue. I'm gonna grant a judgment to the plaintiff. Total redemption amount is $684.80. Okay? You got that?
Yes.
And there'll be no writ. I'm gonna make it July 2nd because of, I don't know how her check comes in, and that's gonna be right on that Friday.
Okay.
So what has to happen is you have to pay that amount has to be paid by July 2nd.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then that doesn't, I'm not, in doing this, it doesn't have anything to do with July's rent. This will just keep you in the home, and then you guys got to work on getting your July rent paid.
Yes, sir. I understand. On July, I should be able to pay the rest, the remaining amount, and next month as well with my mom's check. Because I know that she has Section 8, so she only pays the 4 something, and then Section 8
Right.
pays.
Okay. All right. So right now, the important part is this $684. So you got to
Yes,
get
sir.
that amount paid to the landlord by the 2nd. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of Arbor One versus Latanya Jones.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
Latanya Jones, Your Honor.
Okay, here you are. Last time we were here, she was at 1644.06. She said she was gonna pay $1,000 by the 20th, and then the
Yes,
balance
and I
by.
just, sorry for cutting you off, sir. But I
No,
only have 600 right now for it, and I thought my check was gonna be more. So I've been doing overtime, and I was wondering if I can just give the 600 and then by the July 5th have the remaining, and then the 19th of July I can pay my July rent.
Your Honor, I object. I mean, she stated, I have the notes. I have notes from everything from last week. She planned to pay $1,000 by 6/20. She didn't pay it. I'm asking for judgment to enter.
Please.
well, here's what I'm gonna do, ma'am, and it may be to your benefit. I'm gonna enter a judgment to the plaintiff. That balance is still 1644.06.
Yes, it is, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. Judgment to the plaintiff that finding no tribal issue. Total judgment amount is $1,644.06. All right. That is to
Yes.
be paid, ma'am.
Yes.
It needs to be paid by July 1st.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You gotta, that's the 10 days.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you. Arbor One versus Rhoda Brooks.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
Rhoda Brooks, there she is. Miss Brooks?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. This is in the wrong spot.
Your Honor, I guess, first of all, frankly, this looks like the unauthorized practice of law. I mean, clearly this motion was not directed by Ms. Brooks. I mean, she couldn't argue it. It's citing law. I don't know why an attorney who drafted it didn't just file an appearance, but I mean, we've handled many of these cases in your courtroom. However you want to proceed, if you prefer to have it, I have no problem with the change in venue, but I don't think
Yeah,
that.
I can't hear.
Up to you.
Yeah, I
Bigger
don't.
fish to fry.
Yeah, I gotcha. I mean, the way I look at it, I think I have to change venue because it's across
Okay.
the street, which
Okay.
doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to grant the motion for change of venue.
Thank you.
Arbor One versus Alana Gaines.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
Thank you. I'll take this off. I'll be right back.
Pardon? Alana Gaines? She has not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff moves for entry of a default judgment of possession only. Rent to retain possession, $2,266. Court costs $175.10 for a total redemption figure of $2,441.10 with a statutory redemption period.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession redemption amount in the amount requested with the writ issued 10 days.